Welcome to Horror Franchise Wednesday. Since there's a fourth movie in this franchise coming out in a couple of weeks, I figure why not go back and revisit the Jeepers Creepers trilogy that I've only seen a couple of times each. The third one once, the first two a small handful of times each as a kid. I haven't seen these in forever, so I wanted to go back and rewatch them anyways. And the new movie coming out soon gave me an excuse to finally pull the trigger and rewatch these movies. I only own 1 and 2 on this double pack DVD. I don't own the third one because why would I? It's garbage. So Jeepers Creepers is about a brother and sister driving home through an isolated countryside from college and encounter a flesh-eating creature in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree. This trilogy was written and directed by filmmaker Victor Salva, who is just, I think we all know, a fantastic dude. We're thinking about starting a daycare real soon. No, if in case you didn't know, he raped a kid. Yeah, so he's a convicted child molester who spent 15 months in jail for having oral sex with a 12-year-old boy. It kind of put a stain on these movies to where now it's like some people feel guilty for liking them or feel like they should hate them just because of who made it. You gotta separate the art from the artist. Don't hate a movie because of who made it. Just watch the movie for what it is. So Jeepers Creepers came out in 2001, and it's a very popular movie, at least everywhere. I listen to podcasts and listen to movie reviews, and it seems like a lot of people love the first one, and I am just not that big on this movie. It was fine. What I like about it, though, is I love the brother-sister dynamic. The main two characters being brother and sister was interesting instead of just being a boyfriend and girlfriend like you would typically get. I like that they were just brother and sister and that they're just making fun of each other, calling each other names. Like their dialogue is almost like dialogue that you would expect from like kids, middle schoolers, the way they talk to each other. And I love it. They're very immature. I really liked the creeper. I think that's what his name is in credits. He's just the creeper. And I like the look of him. Very unique, very creepy. I like that this is kind of like a hybrid of like a stalk and kill movie and a creature feature put together. Like this is a man walking around with a creature face, and then all of a sudden he's got wings and he's flying. So it's like it feels like two different genres put together. And I like how quickly things got going. It doesn't waste much time before the creeper makes his presence known, and the movie turns into Duel for the first act of the film. It's just on the road, being chased, and it's kind of intense. I really liked that, and I loved the House of Pain set where the creeper dumps all his bodies and he just decorates his house with his victims. He just paints the walls with corpses. And lastly, the end shot is perfect. It's very downbeat. It's eerie. The final shot is definitely something that sticks with you, and it's just great. So one thing I'm kind of mixed on is the tone of the movie. It is like trying to be a Scream comedy. It's very self-aware, kind of meta. Like there's a lot of that dialogue where it's like, this is the part in horror movies where the people are saying don't do that. Like they're like addressing the fact that they're in a horror movie. Like I don't like the Scream inspired humor here. But I do like some of the other humor, like the dark comedy of like picking up the severed head and like making out with it and ripping the tongue out. Like there's some humor that works, but the Scream type of humor I was not a fan of. Getting into my dislikes is I felt some of the performances were a little weak, especially the sister, Trish. I just thought she had her moments where she was fine, and then there was moments where I was like, is that the best you can do? Like, I don't know. I wasn't liking her character at times. Like, there's a point in the movie where she, like, is doubting her brother, but it's like, why would she? I don't understand that. And then there's character decisions that were just absolutely dumb. where I couldn't understand why they would make those decisions. And then when they tried to give reasons, I was like, no, that's not good enough. That's stupid. Like, there's a few dumb decisions that I just could not get on board with. And I did not like the psychic character being thrown in here. It just felt like lazy exposition writing. Like, how can we get these characters to understand what they're up against? Well, we gotta have that expert character. We gotta have that Dr. Loomis. But in this case, it just felt so forced. It's like, oh, there's a psychic, and now she knows everything, and the 23 years and 23 days, and it just comes off as very convenient for the plot. And it's like she's only psychic enough to give them this information, but not psychic enough to save them. And I swear there's one point where she's like, I know what happens if you go up those stairs. Like, one of you is going to die. And then the creeper shows up down the hall and she's like, run up the stairs. It's like, I thought they were going to die if they went up there. Like, it's just so dumb to me. I don't like the psychic character. And I know they bring another one into part 2, right? If memory serves me correct, there's like a cheerleader who all of a sudden is like psychic. Like, enough with the psychic shit. If I had to throw in a nitpick, I would say the sound design and score at times felt very like stock, like uninspired. Like, I looked up the composer, has done no horror, so that made sense. This is not a good score. And the third act I thought was underwhelming in the police station. Like, the first 30 to 40 minutes I thought was really good. Some character decisions I wasn't on board with, but whatever. But then you get to the third act, and this is when things should get more exciting. It should get more violent. All these cops should have been decimated, and nothing happens. It's just so quick, and it's like, really? Like, there should have been a lot more that happened in that police station, and it just felt so lackluster to me. And I did read that this movie's budget got cut down significantly. Like, they were given like X amount, and then they took a huge chunk away last second, so they had to take some things out. So reading that now, it makes sense. Like, yeah, I feel like there should have been a lot more going on here. So final thoughts: this is a quick moving, unique creature feature stalk and slash hybrid with an enjoyable brother sister duo for your two lead protagonists, but it just suffers from its flawed like story writing, cutaway kills, and ultimately a disappointing climax. So when it comes to Jeepers Creepers, I'll just give this 3 out of 5. Alright, spoiler discussion. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Creeper's truck, the license plate. So they're playing this license plate game, and they see his, and it says, be eating you. And so one of 3 things is true here. Either A, he stole that license plate that someone else had created on their car and put it on his, or B, he made that himself from scratch, or C, he went to the BMV and actually like ordered that thing, walked up and was like, hey, can I get a custom license plate that says be eating you, because I'm a creature that likes to eat people, but only certain parts. I only do it though for 23 days every 23 years. So lady, if you could just get me a license plate that says be eating you, that'd be fantastic. Why are you crying? Is it my face? Like, I would love to see that deleted scene, but so yeah, they witnessed the creeper dumping a body down like a big old pipe, which is kind of a creepy moment. He just turns and looks at them. They're driving away very slowly, I might add. But they see that it's like wrapped up in rope. All these bodies, he throws like 2 of them down, and they're wrapped in rope. There's blood stains. They acknowledge that. So it's like, why would this dude be like, well, let's go down the pipe because there might be survivors? Well, what if it was you? And that's when I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, 2 minutes ago, this guy was acting like a 12-year-old. The way they're talking to each other, he's acting so immature, and now he's like a fucking hero. He's so brave, and he's like, I'm gonna go down the pipe. Where's my cape? Like, shut up. You're not going down any pipe. You're not that brave. You're a little dimwit. Like, be who you are. All right, quit acting like you're a fucking Superman. I could not believe that they actually went back. It's not like their car broke down and that was like the nearest place. I thought that's where it was going. No, the creeper like makes them drive off the road. He like swerves, hits them. They drive into the grass, But the car is working, so they can just get up and keep going. But he's like, no, let's go back to that pipe. And it's like, where's the creeper in all this? Why did he swerve them off the road and then just keep going and then never showed up again until like 12 hours later? Like, what the fuck was he doing? I thought he wanted to get them right then and now because they witnessed what he was doing. He's like, oh shit, I gotta go get them. And then he swerved them off the road and then just, bye bye, I'll see you guys 10 hours from now. Like, where did he go? I don't understand. So they get to the pipe and the sister drops him down it because we get like a rat scare. And turns out he was right. There is someone alive down there, but for no fucking reason other than a jump scare. Like the guy grabs him and then says nothing. So it's not like it was important to the plot at all for this guy to be alive still, to say something. He's just like, and then he drops dead. So it's all for a scare. He wasted his time going down there. Like, he should have just fucking left. He never needed to investigate shit. But yeah, we see that he has like a stitched up body, and there's like bodies all over the wall. I read that one of the bodies is Victor Salva. And so yeah, and they're all fresh, which means that he's preserving these things somehow. Like, these are hundreds of bodies from like decades ago, and they look brand new, very fresh bodies. And so yeah, and then they go to the diner, and one little detail that I just want to point out, it's a nitpick, but it's like, it's funny because you see the exterior, they pull up, it's very old-fashioned diner with the old-fashioned gas pump that I've yet to see anything like this in real life. I've never been to a gas station that looks like these in these horror movies. But, they pull up, you see maybe like, what, 4 cars outside, and then they get in, the whole fucking place is packed. This place is in the middle of butt fucking nowhere, and this place is jam-packed. Just every booth, every seat like taken. It's like 4 cars, and it's this packed. Was there like a side parking lot that we didn't get to see? Are they all parked in the back? Like, it was just ridiculous. I had to point it out. Another thing that's ridiculous is Derry, his name, A, but no offense if your name's Derry, but B, his tattoo. What guy has a tattoo of a black rose right next to their belly button? It was just such a weird tattoo for a guy to have. So then they get a call from the psychic, and she's talking about things that haven't happened yet. Like, have you seen the cats? So she's seen the future, but is still somehow unable to help them. Like, no matter what she does, it's for nothing by the end, because Justin Long, his character, still dies, and she's foreshadowing the ending, talking about that song and hearing him scream, and yeah, it all actually happens, and she didn't help out at all. And so when they're at the diner, this is when the sister is like starting to doubt the brother. He's like, why don't you believe me? It's like, yeah, why doesn't she believe him? Like, she saw this dude dumping bodies down there, so when he came back up and he was like, yeah, I saw like 100 bodies. Why wouldn't she believe him? Like, oh, you probably just hit your head. Like, that actually kind of pissed me off. Made me not like her character that much. We hear on the radio the cops saying that the church is on fire where he keeps all those bodies, so he's disposing of all the evidence. And we don't actually see the church on fire, and I'm guessing that's like a budget thing. And then the cops get killed. This is probably one of the better sequences in the movie, when you just see what's happening in the background as the brother and sister are talking. In the foreground, you just see back there like the creeper on top of the cop car, and he just takes the female officer, like throws her out, and then lifts the head of the one dude through the hood and like just chops his head off camera. But then he throws the head and lands on the hood of their car, and they swerve. And then we get to this whole scene with the cat lady, and here was an opportunity for another kill, but I don't think she dies. She goes in and she fires like 3 shots from her double barrel shotgun. I'm not sure how that's possible. I guess she reloaded really quickly. And then like he just grabs her by the back of the neck and throws her to the side. I don't think that killed her. So yeah, he's just after them, but felt it necessary to kill the cops, but why not the cat lady? She's a threat. She has a 3-barrel shotgun. So just kill her. Why not? Yeah, I love that Trish runs over the creeper like 5 times. She just keeps doing it, and then Derry's like, come on, Jesus Christ, I think he's had enough. Like, he's done. Which the characters always do, and it bugs me. It's like, no, just keep going. It's like, why stop her? And this is when we find out that he has wings, so then I have to ask, well, then why is he driving? Why is he driving location to location, transporting these bodies? And, like, just hug the bodies, flap your wings, and fly to the location. It's much faster, and you won't be seen. You know, like, why is he driving? Just for the fun of it? I don't know. Like, there's no point. So Tim Sullivan, horror director, his face is on a poster, missing persons poster. And so yeah, then we get the whole psychic character, exposition dump, 23 years. It's a very specific number, but I guess if you divide 2 and 3, you get 0.66666. So the creep gets a leg from one of the prisoners. He needs a new leg after Trish ran him over a bunch. And that's really the one kill you get at the prison. I was expecting a bloodbath. Like, come on, kill all the prisoners, kill all the officers. They make you think for a second he is killing them all off camera. You just hear them yelling and gunshots in the distance. And then all of a sudden they show up again, quite comically, at the very end. And it's like, oh, they're all still alive in, like, riot gear. And he never killed any of them or hurt them. He did kill the one cop, though, like, hole through the chest, which looked all right. But I was expecting more. And so, yeah, that's really about it. The movie ends with, you get the take me trope where someone's like, oh, don't take me instead. How many times has that happened? And then, in this case, it didn't work, which I like. Usually, like in The Exorcist, it does work. And they're like, all right, I'll take you. But in this case, the creeper is like, no, I don't want you. You don't have the parts that I need. I need your brother's eyes. So, yeah, we see Derry with his eyes missing at the very end, and that song playing on the radio. So, yeah, that's the end of Jeepers Creepers. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's all an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.